The wait is over, with Rapido announcing full details for their all-new 00 gauge USATC S160 locomotives. What's more, here at Rails of Sheffield we've commissioned 2 exclusive models showcasing a wartime example and good old Frank in 1990s condition Longmoor Military Railway blue. Today we're going to take a closer look at these, so let's jump right in. Let's start off with some history about the class as a whole. The year is 1942, the world is at war, and the United Kingdom has limited resources to combat the enemy, let alone launch an invasion of the European mainland. What is available is becoming stretched far too thin, including the nation's railways. Due to years of consistent bombing, the railways were struggling to cope with the increased traffic, and locomotives and rolling stock were in short supply. Thankfully, our American allies stepped up, aiding us in our hour of need. Despite having joined the fray themselves in late 1941 and needing resources to pursue their own goals, they managed to reinforce the UK with a multitude of supplies, including a fleet of one of the most iconic locomotives to run on Britain's railways, the S160, a spectacular 280 powerhouse. Designed by Major J. W. Marsh from the railway branch of the Corps of Engineers, this all-American loco had to fit the more restrictive loading gauge of the UK. They had to be easy to build, quick to repair, and reliable. Taking inspiration from its predecessor, the S200, and the British WD Austerity 280, the S160 lacked the finesse of many of the British locomotives it would work alongside, but other than a few teething problems and operational challenges, it met its brief perfectly. Constructed in the United States in multiple batches from 1942 to 1945, they were split between the Alco, Baldwin, and Lima locomotive works, with a whopping 2,120 examples of the S160 being built by our American friends. These, along with other locomotives, were shipped from the UK to mainland Europe and further afield to facilitate wartime supply trains, aiding our European neighbours who had also had their railways ravaged by 6 years of conflict and ensuring the Allied war effort prevailed. Following World War II, the S160s found themselves scattered across the globe from China to Hungary. Whilst in the ownership of a plethora of different railways, they were often refitted to accommodate their owners' needs. As time went on, the original shape and details of many of the locos would evolve, which was in part due to the interchangeable nature of their original design. 8 locos have been repatriated to the UK in preservation, and all of them are different from their counterparts, some more subtly than others. Despite all having key visual differences, several of the preserved versions have been returned to running order, with no less than 3 examples currently in operation, with a number of others under restoration. Let's move on and take a closer look at the models themselves. Here at Rails of Sheffield we've commissioned 2 special examples from Rapido Trains, both of which are to be produced in limited quantities. The first of which is WD 701 Franklin D. Roosevelt in Longmoor Military Railway blue, with some extra embellishments as seen in the mid-1990s. This locomotive was built by Baldwin as works number 3278 in 1944. It was sent straight to France in 1944, and at the cessation of hostilities, the locomotive was given to the Italian State Railways, where it was absorbed into the 736 class and was renumbered as 736073. In 1959, it was sent to Greece after being sold along with 25 other locomotives, and eventually it was brought back to the UK in 1984 and was based at the Midhand Railway. The engine was given the name Franklin D. Roosevelt and restored to operational condition. The engine was painted in a Longmoor-inspired livery of blue with red lining, but also featured extra embellishments, including red motion and tender bogies, white wall tyres, and white edge running boards. The Rapido S160s feature an incredible number of tooling variations, so we're going to go through a number of the differences that you can see on our 2 models. First up, we've got standard lamp irons, a straight strap smokebox door, pipework mounted behind the chimney, straight running boards, a PKP air pump, right-hand drive with pole reverser and original pattern firehole door. It has a standard wartime tender, and finally there is a boiler mounted ejector pipe fitted. Moving on to our second model, we have number 2582 Private H.J. O'Brien in all over black with Transportation Corps USA on the tender. 2582 was built in Ohio by Lima Locomotive Works in 1943. The engine was sent to the UK in the same year and stored until August 1944 when it was sent on to Europe. 18 S160s deployed to Northern Europe carried names, and the first of these was 2582. On the 27th of February 1945, amidst the ruins of Liège in Belgium, a ceremony was held where Major General Frank S. Ross dedicated a suitably bowled-up 2582 to Private H.J. O'Brien of the 741st Battalion, who had been killed in an air attack on the 24th of December 1944. The engine continued to be used until September 1945, when it was stored at the USATC dump in Louvain. In 1947, the engine was sold to the Polish State Railways and became number TR 203199 in the PKP fleet. Tooling variations on this model include standard lamp irons, a straight strap smokebox door, a Westinghouse air pump, pipework mounted behind the chimney, straight running boards, right-hand drive with pole reverser and original pattern firehole door, the standard wartime tender, and it also has the boiler-mounted ejector pipe fitted. .2582 is painted in an all-over black with Transportation Corps USA on the tender, name and battalion details on the cab side, alongside extra embellishments including aluminium painted cylinder covers, firebox, smoke box and saddle, white edge running boards, white wall tyres and axle ends. This locomotive also features blackout covers on the ashpan. We hope you're excited for our two preserved and wartime examples, but there are also many other locomotives to release as part of the Rapido range, and as mentioned, these all feature an incredible number of different tooling variations to set them apart from each other. Liveries will cover all of the Big Four regions, Longmoor Military Railway, and other preserved examples. In terms of the general specification, the models will feature a finely moulded body with many separately fitted parts, a twin flywheel powerful motor, detachable loco to tender connection, pickups fitted on both the loco and the tender, and a 21-pin DCC decoder socket. What's more, these also featured two factory fitted speakers, one in the loco and one in the tender, as well as dual LED firebox glow with a dynamic fire draw effect. All that's left to say is you can now pre-order these at railsofsheffield.com. We'll keep you updated with all the latest news on these models, including release dates and more as they become available. If you want to find out more about the general release models, we recommend checking out Rapido's video, which is linked here. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we release a new video. And head to railsofsheffield.com for all the other latest news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.